Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today I have a fun little, what I call my journal before the journal, because this is a funny story, at least to me. I had designed some sort of Irish inspired, medieval inspired digital papers, and I wanted to test one out, so I printed them out, and I got folding, and I just got going, and I just started stuffing it with things, and before I knew it, I had finished this little, it's slightly smaller than a traveler's notebook size, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna finish it. So I haven't even made the one that I was planning on making yet with all my papers, so this is sort of a prelude to, if you want to think about it that way, to the one that's coming. But I love how it turned out. I made this fabric flower out of actually some material that was extra from my bridesmaids dresses way back in old Stone Ages. No, in 2000 actually, when I got married. But so I thought, you know, it goes perfectly with this, and I used it for some fabric tags. So let me go ahead and show you. So again, this is almost the size of a traveler's notebook, just by like a ½ inch or something like that. But and this is paper that I designed, and I love how it turned out. So I just folded it in half, and I lined it with some baked parchment. What I do is I just turn my oven on low, and I stick some parchment paper on there, and I just leave it, close the door, and it turns colors and gets all nice and crinkly. So anyway, let me just show you. I did use a pamphlet stitch with some wax linen here, and I've got just a closure with some trim that you would use more like an heirloom sewing. I had some extra of that, and I made this flower with some eyelash trim and a button, and then I did these little poofies around here, so I'll probably be doing a tutorial on that. It was so easy and fun, and I love how it turned out. It was just like the perfect, this paper's kind of busy, so I thought I didn't want to put a bunch of stuff on here, but to me it just worked out really nicely. And then I made this sort of bead dangly thing. I love jewelry and I love beads, and I have a lot of supplies, and I've just never gotten around to making actual jewelry for myself. But I thought, oh, I'm gonna make myself a little bead dangle out of that on a head pin. I had some of these copper head pins and some of these fun little colors there that went really well. So that's the front. So you just untie it, and on the inside I've got a pocket here of some other paper I designed almost maybe a year ago now, and shrunk it down, and that makes my little tuck pocket. Here's my parchment. I just put it right on the racks, and so it gave me these cool stripes. Isn't that fun? And I just sewed all that on. So that's the lining of this. Here's the full 8x8 paper there. And in the tuck spot, I made this little Irish girl here. It says the wearing of the green, and I put a border around that, and that's a fun little ephemera piece. And then I have a Spellbinders die card creator, and I cut that out of some distressed paper, backed it, and that's like, use it like a little bookmark or journaling spot on there. I thought it went nicely with the whole arch element. Some graph paper. And I have, a couple years ago from X-Cut, some Celtic designed dies that I have, and I really love them. And so I went with some Nina Gold and put them in various places. So here's one here, and then you can write in here. It's just some computer paper, some coffee dyed book paper. Here is a tag from a scrap from I think this is Tsunami Rose, and I had some of this fun felt here, this variegated color. It was just a scrap that was going to be thrown away, so I stapled it on there for my little handle. I cut a corner out of another piece of paper that I had designed in the collection, and I made a little corner tuck spot there. Here's the other side of that graph paper. This is something I had designed. I didn't quite like it, but it kind of is faint enough, and I thought, well, instead of recycling that, I'm going to use that there. And I had, you can barely see it because it's too light, but it's like scripted and checkered. It didn't make it, but we're still going to use it. The fabric tab here. I have here paper clipped on some of another paper I designed for the collection. and some parchment. That's just on here. This is some graph paper I used some spray inks on, and then you can open that up and do some secret journaling in there. And then you can close that up, and then you can just tuck that on in there. Some graph paper again. I like graph paper. Teacher. Piece of computer paper. Here's another book page, and here's another die cut from that Celtic collection die cut of that gold. Caught in the band room. More of that graph paper, some sprayed computer paper, some fun pinks and browns, and a little bit of gold shimmer there. This is one that I designed, and I printed it on the wrong paper, so instead of throwing it away, I just folded it and used it as my centerpiece because I thought it was really bold. It goes with this element there. And there's my center of my signature, and so I tied a little bead onto the little dingly there. There's the other side of that sprayed paper. Fun. Some more spots to write. There's lots of room to write in this particular one. I didn't overstuff this because, again, this was the journal before the journal. Here is another corner spot here. And here's another Irish girl. It says the top of the morning to you. And you can write on that. It's Tsunami Rose paper scrap that I had. And I took, this is an Eileen Hall Book Club 1 group of dies that has this on there, and I just folded it over and punched a hole through there, and it made a nice pull tab there. So, book page. Here's another one of those die cuts. That. Another fabric tab. Love the tactileness of all of this. Here's that dud paper. I call it dud paper, but it works fine for this. That paper there. Another one of those die cuts. So just kind of peppered it here and there. Here's the back page. I'm going to take that out. Here's that parchment. And here's another. This is a Prima digital paper that I shrunk down to a wee, I don't know, what is it? 3.5, almost 4. So, and I just used that as a little tuck spot. It was something I was going to use for something else, and it didn't work out. I love that crinkle. And this is, I don't know if I said it was sewn around all the way. I can't remember. More paper that I designed, and I backed that with sewing onto that striped. I love how that worked out with the striped parchment paper. And then this is a Spellbinders die there with that Nina Gold and Dollar Tree middle, and then some velvet ribbon from my stash for my little loop. And that's that. And I just love how it turned out. I can't wait to finish the collection and make a full-on journal, but I really love the green, and I hope you do too, and hopefully that gives you some good ideas. Thanks guys for joining me through that flip through. I hope you like that. Thanks so much and have a great day.